Namaste and good morning, friends. It is very early on Monday morning, June 13th, and I just felt like I needed to do a reading. We're in this full moon in Sagittarius energy, and it's pretty powerful. Comment below what you're feeling, but what I'm hearing is the last hurdle. What I'm seeing is an image of somebody moving out of a house, and you know how you have to do that move out cleaning, you know, and you're walking through that one last time, looking at your old life. And, you know, it's bittersweet because you're leaving a lot of memories, and what they're saying is, but you take the memories with you. And it feels like what I'm seeing is you have the key to the old house. But instead of turning the key over like you normally do, you're unlocking the new house with the same key. However, that's relevant. Let's get started. There's forgiveness. This has come up quite a bit lately. And this is not just forgiveness for others, but forgiveness for self, for the old life. For the things that didn't go the way you wanted them to go in the old life. They went the way they needed to go. Forgiveness. Let's see if I can. And they said, take a look at the bottom of the deck, and this is the Sacred Traveler Oracle. Purity. Forgiveness and purity. It's a fresh start, it feels like. It feels like you're releasing all of that old energy because now you understand it better. Because it came from that childhood wound that you weren't acknowledging or weren't aware of. It's not that you didn't acknowledge it. You weren't in denial. You weren't aware. And now that that awareness has become apparent, not a parent, but apparent, isn't that strange? You're lovingly parenting your inner child. See that? Forgiveness. Look at that inner child. Holy cow. I'm telling you, this is that last, it's that last look around in I've got chills. In the old dwelling, the old house, the old apartment. And you're walking out with a sense of forgiveness. This is devil energy, insecurity. If you cannot forgive, it's because of insecurity. Well, there's a profound thought for a Monday morning. So, we could actually stop the reading there because that's what you need to know. The key to open the new house, the new version of you, the best version of you, the better version of you, is forgiveness. So in this full moon, we want to release any old energy that ties us to some event, some person, some situation that has wounded that inner child. But now that we've taken over the parenting, loving parenting of that inner child, we can now forgive. If you cannot find it, find the forgiveness. It's due to an insecurity, so you need to look deeper. Okay, we'll stop there for a second. Let's go on. That was the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. I try to tell you all the decks. I don't always remember, but I like to give credit to the decks. This is my very first tarot deck, and this is the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, one of my absolute favorite decks. I was very fortunate to just stumble across this deck and as my first deck. The Emperor in reverse. It's divine masculine energy, but there's what my guides just said was the divine masculine is still in his wounded child energy, and that is part of the forgiveness, is that you have to realize he's healing that, because you're doing it, you know. Remember, we're mirrors, so whatever you do, you're bringing things up. If you're divine feminine, sorry, I just assume you are if you're watching these readings. But if you're working on your inner child, or you're nurturing your inner child, you're bringing that awareness to his inner child too, the divine masculine. Remember, it's energy, not gender. Insecurity. Feels like divine masculine is feeling very insecure. I didn't intend for this to be a divine masculine reading, but it feels like it is. So, yeah, that's why. Look at you. That's why. But look at this card carefully. She's not harboring this resentment. She's released it. This is Nine of Pentacles. This is my self-reliant, independent, usually means single card. But this is, you are single and stable, and that is what's making them insecure. Because their wounded child doesn't feel good enough to be loved. Their wounded child feels, I wanted to say, not me say, my guide said insignificant. They don't feel worthy. That's why that devil energy is there. Look at how it's reaching. Look, there's divine masculine. Look at how it's reaching out to him. Those little, it's like, ooh, look, this, I'm going to creep into your soul and make you feel unworthy. this is definitely a Monday morning message. Okay, 5 of Wands in the reverse. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. It feels like they're insecure about coming to you with some sort of, not a proposal, but not a marriage proposal. Like a proposal to, how do we work through this? What do we need to do? But they're really trying to figure out, first of all, they have a lot of pride, which, by the way, underneath is the a burden that they're carrying. A lot of egoic pride, because that's how they see their self-worth. And then, oh my goodness, here's the Justice card, and then beneath that is the Magician. So these were all on the bottom of the deck. But there's a lot of pride, and they feel so insecure about compromising their pride, because they feel as though if they get rejected, because I did see, now it's fitting together, on the bottom of the Oracle deck, rejection. They feel as though if they were to make this offer of just say, how do we work with this? What do we do to fix this? Then you're going to reject them, and that's just too heavy. That's almost like they're compromised. Here's the full moon. They're too vulnerable. They're just so fragile about, if this goes badly, what am I left with? Here's the Justice card and the Magician. And look at this Magician, how the cup is front and center. Emotional vulnerability. Oh my. Well, is he going to be brave enough to do this? I mean, really? Is he going to be brave enough to do this? This is one of the decks that I read, Divine Masculine Energy. This is the Rider-Waite deck, and this is a deck that my son gave me. The first deck he gave me. And it really reads masculine energy. Okay. What I just heard too is, when I see this card, these two forgiveness cards, forgiving yourself, but also forgiving the inner child of the Divine Masculine. Remember, he's acting and reacting out of that inner child wounding, just the same way you did. Excuse me. Page of Pentacles. Twice. This one's without the peacock, without the pride. This one's a little bit more humble. Look at the difference in these cards. How finely dressed he is with his peacock, showing off his feathers and his cap. This guy's a little bit more humble. Let's put it here. And look at the difference in the pentacle. Here we have this ornate, gilded pentacle, and here we have a simple, just a token. So if they reach out and make contact with you, know that it is from a position of humility, and have compassion, please. Oh my, Queen of Wands, yeah. Have compassion, please. Queen of Wands can be somewhat egoic as well. So there, Hierophant. Holy cow. So we have the Emperor in reverse and the Hierophant. The Hierophant to me is the spiritual, Divine Masculine energy, where they've learned a lot of spiritual lessons. But what you're being asked to do is rely upon your spiritual lessons, the journey, the lessons that you have learned. Have compassion and forgiveness. This takes a lot. And I'm hearing, I know Divine Feminines, Many of you are saying, you know what, he put me through a lot. I get it. I get it. Please, I get it. But remember, this forgiveness is the key. This purity of heart, that energy of being pure at heart, yep. His greatest fear. This is what causes this insecurity. First of all, he feels as though he can't offer you much because, look at here, you're the 9 of Pentacles. He wants to offer you this 1 pentacle to make it 10 of Pentacles. But he feels it's insignificant because you got 9. He has 1. That is the insecurity here. What I just heard from my guides is that he wants to offer this pentacle. Here we have the 5 of Pentacles. With this 1 pentacle is the 6 of Pentacles. And then that to me is, and it's all pentacles on this side. But that to me is that they want to reach out to restore balance. Because 6 of Pentacles to me is balance. And then he's got these 4 of Pentacles, which would be 10 of Pentacles, offering you this. That would be the balance. You would have 10 of Pentacles. There's the action. You got 2 pages. That's initiation. That's initiating something. This is initiating some sort of a... This feels like a compromise to balance the energy in the connection. But also, he has to initiate this. This has to be something he does. He has to come out of his egoic pride and face his deepest fear of being rejected. And to overcome his insecurities. That's part of his growth. Bottom of the deck. The Fool. This opens up a new energy. All right. This is the Secrets of the Tarot. Let's find out what else. So from this energy, what I'm feeling is he's mustering up his courage and trying to figure out how he's going to approach the divine feminine emotionally, but it's going to look very pentacly, very practical. So keep this in mind. This is the energy, this purity, this pure intention of bringing justice and not retribution. Justice, fairness, purity back to the connection. But remember, he's manifesting it. He's trying to overcome his insecurity to bring about an emotional message, to share something with you emotionally, but it's going to look like a pentacle. It's going to look very practical. It's going to look very down to earth, like business. Like they may contact you about some matter of business, or, you know, okay, let me give you an example. Divine Feminine wants him to reach out and say, I love you, I can't live without you. What he may, and remember it's energy, not gender, what he may end up doing is saying, you know, I just called to find out, or I texted to find out if you have a wrench I can borrow. You know, that kind of thing. It's to open the door. But that's how they approach it, because, I mean, he's the Emperor in reverse. He's still wounded. He still has this insecurity. You need to handle it from a position of forgiveness, compassion. And look, did we not say the Ten of Pentacles? This card has come up quite a few times in the last readings. And in this Ten of Pentacles, I didn't notice, and I won't be able to tell you if it's like that in every Ten of Pentacles, But if you see, they're having a conversation. You can't see his face, but you can see her. You can see her face. They're having a conversation, and she has that expression of forgiveness and compassion. Unlike this Queen of Wands, not knocking the Queen of Wands, I'm a Leo. This is kind of a sanctimonious expression. Like, really? That what you really called me for? I want the truth. Six of Swords. The Lovers. This is interesting because this Lover's card is presided over by this angel, this divine angel. And if you look at her body language, she's very open. Her arms are open, not crossed. And it looks like he's just stepping forward. He's open too. His body language is open. Vulnerable. Coming out of troubled waters, looks very much like this page here. Wanting things, both sixes, just saying. Wanting very much to soothe. But it's an important step for them to conquer this insecurity. So this is not a time to be retributive or vindictive. All of that energy should be releasing. If you have not released that energy now, by now, please do that work. I think it's just critically important to do that work. And to figure out why, if you haven't. Because that means there's an insecurity in you. And that's connected to that inner child. Five of Pentacles again. Yeah, there's if you've not been able to release the anger, hostility, resentment, then there's an insecurity in you too. So please take a look at that carefully and lovingly. One last card, please. I said two. Ace of Cups. This is an open heart. This is a divine opportunity. Orchestrated. Look at the open language here. Be open. Be open. Forgive and be open. But this is a divine opportunity being offered. It's an opportunity being offered. Don't block it. See, her body language is not open. It's closed. If this is going to be the reaction, once this communication is opened up, and remember, it's going to seem very practical. Like they need to borrow a wrench, or, you know, how you used to do you have a cup of sugar? Or, you know, my car won't start, can you come help me jump the battery, kind of thing. It's going to be very practical. Don't resent that. It's their way of reaching out to restore balance so that there can be a conversation. And it's taken a lot to muster that. He's got the Ace of Cups right there. He's trying to figure out how do I deal with my emotions in a way that's not going to leave me extremely vulnerable. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Cups. It's your choice, you know, how you handle this. But if you react in this kind of closed off, swordsy, vindictive kind of manner, and I'm just, you know, I'm just feeling some energy of some Divine Feminine in some point wants to be vindicated. That's part of your spiritual lesson, is this forgiveness. If this is the response to this new energy, this new opportunity. Yeah, look, Queen of Wands. Now this Queen of Wands is very different. She's very loving. Very like, okay, here's a flower. That will send you back to my point. This would send you back into another cycle until this is dealt with, until you can get to this energy of purity in the connection. That means the purging of the old negative energies. Okay. I think that's the reading. I hope you've enjoyed this Monday message. Please, thank you. Thank you for all my new subscribers, by the way. This is not a large channel, but I thank you all for commenting and liking and subscribing. It really makes a difference, because it just helps to get these messages out to other people who need to hear them. As you know, we're going through this great awakening, and many people are, we have a little collective that's at this point. Not everybody's at this point, but there's a segment of the collective that is. And this feels very twin flamey. So it's so important that, you know, Divine Feminine kind of keeps aware of the energies and what's going through the Divine Masculine process as their spiritual lessons, so that she can have compassion and that unconditional love, so that you can move forward in combined energies together, to be in union with your energies. It's so very important. And it's so important that, you know, the Divine Feminine gets a heads up, so that she has that awareness, so that when these opportunities come up, it helps the growth and the firm foundation of the connection. It's just really important. So the more these messages get out, the more, and that's why we all watch tarot, right? Is to kind of try and find out what's going on. And it's a really good way to find out what's going on with the masculine, so that the Divine Feminine can kind of prepare herself emotionally, so that she doesn't react in a way that's going to damage the vulnerability of both counterparts. Okay, I'll leave it there. Namaste.